rocks the screen. She's a straight shooter, if you know what I mean. Dishing out the truth about the royal scene with a fist of fire and a voice so keen. Hitting hard with those altar bridge vibes, no sugarcoating, no false alibis. Tearing down the lies she despises. Yorkshire lass with fire in her eyes. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines. See a fake, she's a beacon bright, unraveling the drama without a fright. Armored with honesty, ready to fight. Injustice quivers at her sight. Unbreakable will won't be confined. Mind of steel and heart redefined. Rhetoric sharp, leaving dust behind. In Stef's world, truth is intertwined. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines. Will won't be confined. Mind of steel and heart redefined. Rhetoric sharp, leaving dust behind. In Stef's world, truth is intertwined. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines.
Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Daily Nerd Live Friday edition. How are you all doing? How has your week been so far? Mine's been freaking awesome. Oh my goodness, and this weekend is going to be so much fun. Before we jump into it all though, guys, let me give you the rundown as to what you all can expect for today's Daily Nerd Live for Friday the 18th of July 2025. Oh my goodness, first and foremost, oh yeah, do I have a little bit of an exclusive for you all. Is Meghan Markle's Netflix deal nothing more than a shocking tax break scheme? Oh, I have my theory. I have my logic, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Hold on to your butts. It's a little bit of an adventure. Gets a little bit technical, I have to admit, but follow me and you won't go too wrong. Let's put it that way. So that's the first story that'll be coming up for the Daily Nerd Live today. Then we're going to get into the second topic. What's the real reason as to why Hazard ditched Megzy for his Angola trip? Because usually when it comes to those humanitarian trips, Megzy's all over it, right? And Megzy seriously would not pass up the opportunity to cosplay Princess Diana yet again, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. So why did Hazard ditch Megzy? Why did he go on his own? We'll get into that for the second topic for today's live stream. Then we're gonna careen into the third one. Careen? Is that even a word? If it isn't, I've just made it up. Anywho, we're going to go into the third topic for the live stream. Did Megzy break the law with Oprah and those ducks? There's some information going around on X at the moment. I'm going to give you the details. You guys can make your mind up on that one. And then, oh my goodness, the bonus Hazard and Megzy story for today's live stream. How do you unlock it? Well, only for those that can, as I always say. We do have a super chat goal in place at the moment. If we get 10 super chats in the next hour, then you guys will have unlocked the bonus Hazard and Megzy story for today's live stream. And guys, this is a real fun one. Hint, it involves Megzy and Candace Owens. Oh, I've got a video clip of Candace Owens, and oh my goodness, you guys, it'll be a fun watch. Let me put it that way to you guys. So again, only if you can, of course. If anyone wants to help unlock the bonus Hazard and Megzy story for today's live stream, then please, only if you can, of course, contribute to today's super chat goal. And that is what is coming up for today's Daily Nerd Live for Friday, the 18th of July, 2025. For those that are watching on the replay, fast forward about 5-10 minutes and I will have started the main topic for today's live stream. Just a couple of things before we kick off. For those that don't know, oh my goodness, if you want even more content from myself, then please make sure on YouTube you subscribe to my second channel, Political Nerds. For those that don't know, I actually have a degree in international relations and security studies. Politics essentially is my academic wheelhouse, and we're having so much fun over on my second channel at the moment. So I just want to take a chance here just to again say a big massive thank you to everyone that subscribed to my second channel and supported me over there so far. I really, really do appreciate it. And for those that are watching live, well, stay exactly where you are for those watching on YouTube, because after this live stream, you'll be redirected to this premiere video, as I like to call it, the after party, over on Political Nerds. This will be premiering in just a little over an hour's time. And yes, I am sick of this shiz and I go full Stef rant mode. So yeah, if you don't want to miss out on that, everyone watching live, stay right to the end and you'll be redirected over to this premiere video where the after party will start. And I'll be in the live chat as well with you guys, chatting about this video and anything else you guys want to chat about as well. So there you go. Even more content from me. Woohoo, right? Let's say hi to a couple of you guys before we kick off the first topic for today's live stream. And before I forget, I also want to say a big, massive hello and A up to everyone watching on X right now live. It's something that I've started to do in the last couple of weeks, simultaneously stream live, not only on YouTube, but X as well. So for everyone watching on X, hey up guys, how's it going? For more live streams on the misadventures of the gruesome twosome, for those watching on X, please make sure you are following me on @Stef The Alter Nerd. Appreciate all your faces, thank you so much. In the meantime, Catherine Gellinger saying I caught alive. Yay! Thank you so much. Appreciate your face. Let's see. Here we go. Anna Chadone, she's asking a really good question. She's hit the like button. Have you? It's a good question. Let me know in the live chat. Answer Anna's question. Have you hit the like button yet? We shall see. We shall see. And Jane, thank you very much for reminding me. Here we go. 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Head Mod Project Metal Music. Happy birthday to you. May there be more. Yeah, I remember you guys saying that it was his birthday today. Jane, thank you so much for reminding me. I appreciate your face. For those that don't know, I've got a brain like a goldfish sometimes. It's insane. It's just one of those things. Project Matter Music, up, looking good. Thank you so much. I hope you're looking good as well. Happy birthday to you, mate. What have you been up to today? Any birthday treats? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. Lisa Boo, thank you so much to Lisa Boo, kicking off today's super chat goal with a $2 sugar bucks, saying happy birthday, Project Metal Music. Yay! Happy birthday to PMM. I'm loving all the birthday wishes in the live chat for the head mod right now. Appreciate that. That's cool. Anna Chedroni, thank you so much for the $5 sugar bucks, saying hi, Steph. You look great, and I'm glad for you that you seem very happy. I am very, very happy. And this, I'm kind of testing out some makeup for an event that I'm going to tomorrow. And it's going to be really fun. I think I need to use a little bit less foundation, admittedly, because particularly on my nose where it gets a little bit drier, but I'm liking the way that it's holding up, so this is probably the look I'm going to go with tomorrow, so there we go. Flapper27 in the chat. Hey, up Flapper27, thank you so much for gifting a whopping 10 leaderships to some of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey, up to our newest leaders, courtesy of Flapper27. Who's going to respond and kick off today's gifting wars? Guys, we may soon find out. We may soon find out. But hearts in the chat for Flapper27, because this is highly, highly generous and kind of you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Sean Roche is saying, Steph, have you taken advantage of our sunshine weather? Of course I have. Seriously, I've got white bits. Like, legitimately, I have white bits. It's pretty fun. Sorry, I thought I was just there. No, I'm going to ignore that. Okay. In the meantime, all right, we're going to kick off the first story for today's live stream. I'll get to your super chat stickers, member-only chats, gifting war events as and when I can. But yeah, let's jump into it with an Alter Nerd exclusive. Has Meghan Markle's Netflix deal been exposed as a shocking tax break scheme? What the deuce is going on here? Now, this is the thing, right, guys? I actually came with this light bulb moment last week when I was on Sue Smith's channel, and I was on there with, I believe, Michelle from Royal Daily Tea and the Sidley twins. Make sure you subscribe to them all. They're some of my favourite people. And I came to this light bulb moment, and I was thinking, hang on a minute. It makes to me 0 sense why essentially Netflix is backing a dead horse, i.e. Megzy and Hazza, because time after time after time after time, they're putting out all these projects, all these series, and they're failing, right? They're failing. They're not setting the top 10 alight. They're not setting Hollywood alight. The ratings are shiz. Netflix aren't making the money out of them that presumably they expected to when they first signed Hazza and Megzy up nearly 5 years ago. So it got me thinking, what is Netflix really getting out of this Megzy and Hazza deal? How could they recoup back all the quote-unquote lost money that they've piled into the gruesome twosome? Well, let's get into that, okay, because it all centres around Netflix using Megzy and Hazza as a tax break. And for those that don't know what that all means or what that entails, I'm gonna walk you through it all right? But let's lay down the foundation here, okay, as to why I kind of came to this, for me, realisation of why is Netflix flogging a dead horse in the first place when it comes to Hazza and Megzy? Because the recent headlines when it comes to Hazza and Megzy's projects is the With Love Meghan series, right? And this headline has been making the rounds all over the internet. This one reported by the Daily Mail. Meghan Markle's Netflix flop show fails to make the top 10. Meghan Markle's Netflix flop fails to make the top 10. The With Love Meghan was watched by just 5.3 million viewers and ranks at number 383. And as I reported earlier on this week, not only did With Love Meghan fail in terms of entering the top 10 when it comes to Netflix and had very low viewership for Netflix, but With Love Meghan also failed to score an Emmy nomination when it was announced a couple of days ago. And again, I reported on that earlier on this week. But let's look at their other failures, right? So you've got Heart of Invictus that failed to make the Netflix top 10. You've got Heart of Invictus even failing to get an Emmy nomination. You then have Polo. That failed to make the Netflix top 10. And it also failed to get an Emmy nomination as well. Live to Lead, a series that not a lot of people know that Harry and Megzy did. That failed to make the Netflix top 10. And it also failed to get an Emmy nomination as well. And let's not forget, Megzy's animated series Pearl, well, that got cancelled before it could even get off the ground. And their most successful project for Netflix, their mockumentary, Harry and Meghan, well, that failed to get an Emmy nomination as well. So you look at all these failures and I ask myself, well, hang on a minute. Why is Netflix continuing to back the proverbial dead horse here? Failure after failure after failure. You'd think that Netflix would have pulled out by now. Or Netflix wouldn't invest any more time or money into Harry and Megzy and would just let their contract just time out at that point, right? Without having to invest any more money into any of their other projects. But instead, they're continuing to invest money into their projects and these series are coming out. But again, they're failing to make the top 10 and they're failing to set Hollywood alight and they're not getting any nominations from the Emmys for any of them. Well, this is where this whole Netflix using Harry and Megzy as a tax break comes into play here, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Now, of course, do your own research, come to your own conclusions on this. This is just my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. This is the thing. I'm called Stef The Alter Nerd. I'm a nerd in various aspects, okay? I'm a big, massive nerd when it comes to TV series, films, and comic books. I actually have, just as a side note, a collection of comic books, some just there, actually, in their comic book sleeves, so that they're protected and all that lot. I say this because I know that Hollywood has a great knack of turning failure into tax breaks. So could all of Harry and Meghan's multiple failures be used as tax breaks for Netflix? And is that how they're ultimately trying to claw back their money that they handed over to the gruesome twosome in the first place? So here we first need to understand, how does Hollywood make their money back from failures such as Harry and Megzy, but by using the tax breaks or the tax break system? Now, this information I got from Google, okay? So this is my source, just to make you aware. And this is what Google said, okay? Hollywood studios can leverage tax breaks on unreleased films primarily through two methods: film production incentives offered by state and local governments, and accounting practices that allow for the expensing of production costs as losses. So let's look at the first method, which is the film production incentives. So you've got state and local incentives, and so many states and some cities do offer tax breaks, rebates, or credits to encourage film and TV production within their jurisdictions. The incentives can be very significant, potentially reducing production costs by 20 to 30%. And when you're talking 20 to 30%, you're talking millions there. That's a lot of money. Now, the type of incentives can include tax credits. And so this is where production companies receive a credit against their state tax liability, which can be used to offset taxes owed or even be refunded in some cases. Then you've got cash rebates, where states may offer direct cash rebates to production companies based on a percentage of their qualified expenses. You then have two other incentives: sales tax exemptions and fee-free locations. So with the sales tax exemption, production companies may be exempt from paying sales taxes on certain purchases related to the film's production. The fee-free locations is where some states offer free or reduced cost access to state-owned locations for filming. Now, you do have transferable credits where some states offer transferable tax credits, meaning that studios can sell these credits to other companies that have state tax liabilities, and that provides a way to monetize the tax benefit. So, for example, you've got California, New York, Georgia. They're known for offering substantial film production incentives. Now, let's get to the second option, which is accounting practices and impairment charges. And so here you've got capitalizing production costs. Now, film studios generally capitalize the costs of producing a film, meaning that they'll treat those costs as assets on their balance sheet. You then got amortization, and these capitalized costs are then amortized, which is another word for saying they're written off over the film's projected lifetime as it generates revenue. You then have impairment charges. So if a studio believes the film's value has decreased due to poor reception during the test screenings or the decision that they don't release it, then they can take what's called an impairment charge. You then have tax write-offs. So this impairment charge, which can be a significant portion or even the entire cost of the film, and there you could be talking tens of millions to even hundreds of millions of dollars there, right? That can then all be treated as a loss for tax purposes, and that reduces the studio's taxable income for that year. Now, yes, there is IRS scrutiny to all of this. The IRS can scrutinize very large write-offs to ensure that they are legitimate. But the practice of using impairment charges to reduce tax liability is a very, very common one in the Hollywood industry that I'm only aware of because I'm a nerd when it comes to film, TV series, and comic books. I'm very aware of this practice being done in Hollywood on a very regular basis. So here's an example, all right? If a studio spends $100 million on a film and then decides not to release it, they might take a $100 million impairment charge, effectively writing off the entire cost and reducing their taxable income by that amount. Now, in terms of real life examples, okay, the one that springs to mind, the one that I remember, which is what helped spark this conspiracy theory off in the first place, right? I remember a film that was created and it's ready. It's ready to be released. It's done. It's called Batgirl. That film is done. It will never be released, though. And here, Google is confirming, yes, the shelved Batgirl movie is being used by Warner Brothers Discovery as a tax write-off. So, how does this translate to my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, that Meghan Markle's Netflix deal could actually be exposed potentially as a shocking tax break situation? Well, let's put it this way, okay? Netflix puts a total of $100 million into Harry and Meghan's projects. Doesn't matter to them if those projects fail, because they could just offset their $100 million investment against the tax instead. Think about it. Warner Brothers, with that Batgirl film example that I've just shown you, poured tens of millions of dollars into that film, never to be released. So you'd think, well, hang on a minute. If you've created a film and you're not releasing it, how are you making your money back? Well, everything that they put into that film monetary-wise, they're just offsetting it against tax. They're reducing their tax bill as a result. And so again, if Netflix puts a total of $100 million into Harry and Meghan's projects, it doesn't matter to them if those projects fail. because they could just offset their 100 million investment against their tax instead and reduce their tax bill essentially by $100 million. In other words, let me give you another example. Let's say, right, because I use the $100 million example because that is approximately, reportedly, what their contract is, right? Let's do it another way, right? Let's use different figures to try and make this more clearer. Let's say Netflix has a tax bill of $300 million, right? They could take their investment of $100 million that they put into Harry and Megzy's projects, argue legitimately that those projects were not successful monetarily, and offset that against their tax bill. And that would mean that their new bill, in this scenario, would be calculated in the following way, okay? The original tax bill of $300 million minus their $100 million investment into Harry and Meghan's project, it means that for the IRS, all they're then expecting from Netflix is to pay their new tax bill of $200 million. See where I'm coming from there? Thing is, I've asked myself time and time again, why is Netflix backing such a dead horse when it comes to Harry and Megzy? All their projects have failed to set Hollywood alight. The majority of them have not been ratings winners, as I showed you right at the beginning of this segment. So why are Netflix determined to stick with them still? Well, as I've just walked through with you guys, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, is that Netflix is using Harry and Megzy as a tax break. Netflix is using whatever money they're pouring into Harry and Megzy to then go to the IRS, turn around and say the projects were not monetarily successful. We need to use these projects with Harry and Megzy as a tax break to reduce our overall tax bill by the amount we invested into Harry and Megzy in those failed projects in the first place. What do you guys think? Again, do your own research, come to your own conclusions. This is all my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, right? So what do you guys think? With that being said, those watching live, whether you're on YouTube or you're watching on X, stay exactly where you are because we're going to get into the second topic. What is the real reason why Prince Harry ditched Meghan Markle for his recent Angola trip? Guys, if they're going to turn around and say that everything is fine in Montecito Royale, that there's nothing wrong in their marriage, yeah, we're living in a reality then where pigs fly. Let's put it that way. So for those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet, but please do make sure if you want more misadventures of the gruesome twosome that you subscribe to me here on YouTube or follow me on X at Stef The Alter Nerd. With that being said, let me see what you guys have been saying in the live chat before we jump into the second topic for today's live stream. So with that being said, first and foremost, a big, massive thank you to King Bob for gifting one leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey up to our newest leader, courtesy of King Bob. And guys, that only means one thing. Today's gifting wars for this live stream have officially begun. So thank you so much to King Bob for kicking off today's gifting wars. Really appreciate your face. Thank you so much. We're already on a whopping 11 new leaders for today's stream. We're just 4 more away from 15 new leaders for today's stream. So who else is going to pick up that sword and shield and be like, this ain't how you do a gifting war. This is how you do a gifting war. Guys, we may soon find out. Also, as well, big, massive thanks to Richard Waybright for your $5 sugar bucks. Really appreciate your face and your generosity and kindness. Thank you so much for that. Anna Chadroni, thank you so much for another $2 sugar bucks. Really appreciate your face saying towards the bonus Harry and Megzy story. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we also have the big SM in the chat. Stephen Magnus, hey up, mate. How's it going? Helping us to get halfway to our super chat goal with a very generous $5 sugar bucks, saying Archwell Productions could also benefit in tax relief against costs. Netflix earns about $33 billion a year. Netflix net worth equals $532 billion. Yeah, this is the thing. I have also been thinking along the lines of, do Hazza and Megzy really care if all their series fails? Because anything that they've also put into the series, money-wise, they could potentially offset their own monetary investment against their own tax as well and reduce their tax bill that way. So I have, extended kind of my thought pattern on this and thinking, well, hang on a minute. When her series fails and when Hazza's series fails, do they really care? Because they're still winning in a way. Because anything that they've invested, they could potentially offset against tax as well. Think about it, guys. Think about it. But yeah, guys, thanks to the big SM, we're already halfway towards our super chat goal. We just need another 5 super chats so you guys get to unlock the bonus Hazza and Megzy story. Only if you guys can, of course. Let me be again very, very clear on that. With that being said, let's jump into the second topic for today's live stream. The real reason why Prince Harry ditched Meghan Markle for his Angola trip. What the deuce is really going on? Let's jump into it right now. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this one, shall we? Because what is the real reason as to why, essentially, from the looks of things, Prince Hazza ditched Megzy for his Angola trip? Because let's put it this way, right? Prince Hazza recreated that famous Princess Diana landmine walk. And if we know anything about Megzy, it's that she, allegedly, loves to cosplay Princess Diana. You think that she would want to miss out on an easy way to be able to cosplay Princess Diana and make headlines around the world by trying to, attempt the same walk that Princess Diana did? Not a freaking chance. So what kept her back? What kept her back? What kept her from travelling with Hazza to Angola? What the deuce is really going on here? Well, let's get to this clip from GB News. And so they're speaking to royal expert Ingred Shuard. And why is she saying that Hazza left Megzy behind? Let's watch this.
Today marks Queen Camilla's birthday, as Her Majesty turns 78.
Yes, this new photograph you could see of the Queen at her private Wiltshire home has been released to mark the occasion. We also had some gun salutes in her honour to celebrate, because why not? It is her 78th. We're joined now by the royal expert and biographer Ingred Shuard. Now, Ingrid, just to start on Prince Harry being in Angola. Now, I have seen people saying out there, I think there was a piece in the Daily Mail I read, saying that he's chosen not to bring Meghan with him because he needs to very much forge his own path and he wants to rekindle ties with the royal family and all of this. Is there any truth to that?
Well, I think it's quite obvious that he wouldn't want to take Meghan to somewhere that might present danger. He can't say he won't bring her to London and then take her to Angola and walk her through a minefield. I mean, that would really quash any hopes he ever had of bumping up his security. So it's fairly obvious that Meghan wouldn't be there, and he wouldn't want her there. It's not really something you would take either your husband or your wife. It's very much a mission, a personal mission, this. And I think he wanted it to be seen as that. He actually has done it before, but he says he's doing it this time to, to bring back to remind people of the fact that there are still, as you said earlier, there's still landmines there. And, he wants to bring attention to this. And of course, it does bring attention to it. And whether or not it was very set up, I'm sure it was very well organized by their American PRs. But the result is a good result. I mean, it's a brave thing of him to do. And, it's very hard to knock him.
Interesting, right? So Ingred Shuard is saying that Hazard ditched Megzy for his Angola trip because it was all for safety and optics. Okay. Well, here we've got the Daily Mirror, and they've got a slightly different take on this, okay? Here's the headline: Prince Harry's bitter realisation about life with Megzy in telling recent trip. And so here they've got royal expert Jenny Bond, and she told the Mirror, quote, "I think this is precisely the sort of work that Harry should do. It's not only a hugely worthwhile cause, but it also connects him with his mother, which is something he yearns for. I think he's coming to recognise that the LA celebrity world is one in which he is not especially comfortable, and he seems quite willing to let Megzy take the limelight over there. He speaks frequently about a life of service, and trips like this certainly serve a very good cause indeed." In other words, I've been a conspiracy theory, whatever, this is my interpretation of it all. He hates the Hollywood situation. He doesn't want to chase for it. He doesn't want it. He's not on the same line as Megzy. As Megzy allegedly wants the Hollywood fame, he doesn't. He just wants to focus on charity, being a humanitarian or whatever, right? And knows that if he brings Megzy along with him, that she's going to ruin it. Firstly, just by being there. Secondly, with what she'll do when she gets there, right? And what she'll say, because she just ruins it anyway, to be fair, with what she does and what she says. And thirdly, maybe he's realised that being attached to Megzy when it comes to his charity endeavours might not be the best move after all. Now, this is the thing. Not only has Hazard recently ditched Megzy when it comes to his Angola trip, but interestingly, it seems that he's also ditched her when it comes to these peace talks too. And so here we've got this article reported by Yahoo. Prince Harry won't include Meghan Markle in his efforts towards royal reunion, says a source. And so here, Prince Harry is reportedly planning to mend his tumultuous relationship with the royal family, but without his wife Meghan Markle by his side. A source exclusively told Radar Online that Hazard is arranging a solo trip to the UK for the royal reunion. However, he's reportedly realised that he can only fix the fractured bond with his family without involving Megzy. Interesting, right? And so maybe with all of this, are we witnessing the beginning of the end for Hazard's marriage with Megzy? Because he reportedly don't want to be involved in the alleged, let's say, royal family peace talks. And he's trying to strike it more out on his own with his charity endeavours, moving away from the Hollywood dream that Megzy, it seems for me anyway, is so desperate to achieve. Has Hazard realised that when it comes to his own ambitions, when it comes to charities, and his own ambitions to try and make peace with the royal family, has he realised that when it comes to all of that, that he finally needs to ditch Megzy so that he can actually achieve those two aims? Let's put it this way. It'll be easier for him to achieve those aims without Megzy. But will it still be difficult for him? Oh, hell freaking yeah. Hell yeah. I've always said, first and foremost, that it's not a matter of if, but when they're going to get divorced. When that happens, Hazard, as far as I can tell, has no other place to turn to but going back to the royal family with the tail between his legs. What will the royal family do in that scenario? I can only imagine they'll do the Prince Andrew route, which is accept him back into the royal fold. He's not a member of the working royal family corps. He'll just be put in the corner, swept under the carpet. He's there. We know he's there, but he ain't involved in any way, shape, or form. That kind of situation, right? I think that's going to happen. In terms of his charity endeavours, without Megzy involved, there's still going to be a level of cynicism towards him in terms of his charity endeavours. Will they be a higher level of cynicism to what we're seeing now with him being attached to Megzy? I don't think so. I think the cynicism will drop in that scenario, if that makes sense. So, yeah, has Hazza realised overall that he needs to ditch Megzy so he can achieve his two aims of A, making peace with his family, and B, achieving his charitable humanitarian aims, whatever the frick you want to call it when it comes to Hazza? What do you guys think? Now, with that being said, for anyone that's watching, if you haven't done so already, if you want more misadventures of the Gruesome Twosome, then please make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here at YouTube. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. And for those watching on X, again, if you want more misadventures of the Gruesome Twosome, then please make sure you're following me there at Stef Alter Nerd. For those watching live, though, whether you're on YouTube or X, stay exactly where you are, because I'm not done with you guys yet. Oh, no, no, no. This is a doozy. Did Meghan Markle break the law with Oprah and those freaking ducks? What the deuce is going on? Well, for those watching live, whether you're watching on YouTube or on X, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so, so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, and that was the second topic for today's live stream. We're going to get into the third one in a moment. Again, though, a few thank yous before we do. Angela Jacoby, thank you so much for the $2 sugar buck, saying, Hazza and Megzy are knobs. Always has been, always will be. That's quite funny. That's quite funny. Thank you. Marie, this is very kind of you to say. Love the way you think, Steph. You got it going on. Do you know what? I'm biased. I totally agree with you. I love the way that I think too. Thank you so much, Marie. Kizzy Arsenu, thank you so much for the $1.49 sugar bucks and the diamond. Oh, that's very, very cute. Thank you so, so much. Angela Jacoby, my goodness, thank you so much for gifting one leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey up to our newest leader, courtesy of Angela. Appreciate your face. Thank you so much. My goodness. We're already on a whopping 12 new leaders for today's stream. We're just 3 more away from a whopping 15 new leaders. So who's going to jump into today's gifting wars and help us get there? Guys, we may soon find out. Also as well, let's have a look. Angela, my goodness, thank you so much for your generosity this live stream. Very, very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you for the $5 sugar bucks here, saying maybe he's sick of her pulling focus like Invictus, but he cosplayed his mum down to the gold watch and women's pants. Megzy won't allow his freedom dollars. Yeah. I think things are changing. And Megzy ain't gonna like it, that's for sure. Catmat says, I don't think Hazza will ditch her. She's the only sense of rescue for him. She's convinced him that she's going to back for him and not for herself. I think he couldn't admit the failure and took tail. Well, let me be very clear on this, and I've always said this. Megzy, I believe, is going to be the one that presses that divorce button. Like, totally and utterly. I do believe that. I believe that Megzy, when she believes that she can stand on her own 2 feet and somehow bring in the big bucks without having to be married to Hazza, that's when she's going to divorce him. My opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. But like I said, in that scenario, he has nowhere else to turn but to go back to the royal family. That's, again, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. But Catmouth, thank you very much for your comment there. And Boots, hey up, Boots. Next, I'm so happy to catch you live, Steph. Wow, well, thank you so much. Appreciate your face and for your tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kizzy Arsenu, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks. And Mr. Yellow Dude with the mwah. Thank you. Very, very kind. And Shaz, oh, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks, saying happy birthday, PMM, Project Metal Music, Head Mod. Yes, happy birthday to the Head Mod. My goodness, thank you so, so much for your generosity and kindness so far. We're already at 8 super chats towards our goal. We just need 2 more super chats to unlock the bonus Hazard and Megzy story for today's live stream. Please contribute to the goal only if you can, of course. With that being said, though, let's jump into the third story for today's live stream. And yeah, this is a funny one. Did Megzy break the law with Oprah and those freaking ducks? Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because did Meghan Markle break the law with Oprah and those freaking ducks? Now, we all know about Megzy, Oprah, and as far as I'm concerned, quite frankly, that bizarre duck story, right? Now, I even reported on it yesterday and discussed how this could have been a way for Megzy to try and get back into Oprah's friendship circle after reportedly their relationship cooled off in the last year or so. Now, if you missed this video, by all means, have a gander at it. It's my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, but I'm pretty proud of my logic on that one. Now, this is a thing. Thanks to Nancy Sidley from the Sidley Twins. Make sure you're following her on YouTube and X. And also thanks to Harry, Meghan's spare, at VI Queenie. They've highlighted that this story could actually be worse than we thought. That Megzy and Azza could have actually broken the law with what they did. And again, thanks to Nancy Sidley and Harry's Meghan's spare, they've essentially signposted us to this government website outlining this law further. And so here they're asking, first and foremost, what do you do if you have nesting ducks in your yard? Well, enjoy the wildlife, observe their behaviour. Not once do you see here where they turn round and say, move them, evict them, handle them in any way, shape or form, go nuts. Not once do they say any of that. Just enjoy the wildlife and observe their behaviour. Now, what do you do if you find ducks in your pool? Well, you provide a ramp to allow the ducklings to get out. You can use a service that's not too slippery for the ducklings' feet to help them walk out. They're not able to fly out of the water, nor can they step out from the pool's tall edge, and the ducklings may drown if they become exhausted because they cannot get out. So if you find, right, ducks in your pool, you're not supposed to, interfere with them in any way, shape or form. All you got to do is provide a ramp so that they can just walk out of the pool or wherever they are, right? Because if there's no ramp, they're on that water, the feet get tired and they could drown. Not once do they turn around and say, manhandle them, evict them, move them. No. It's more, leave them where they are and make sure there's a ramp for safety. Now, there is a section called Getting Ducks Out of the Enclosed Yard. And they turn around and they say, you've got to leave a gate open in that instance to make it easy for the ducks to exit the enclosed area. Now, you can quietly escort the ducks out of the enclosed area Just you're not supposed to scare the mother away from the chicks. And if you're unable to remove the ducks from the area, you've got to call a licensed wildlife rehabilitator to physically remove the ducks. Now, let's put it this way, guys, okay? When I read this article right here, where Oprah was essentially highlighting what happened with this duck situation, Hazza and Megzy, not once did I get the impression that a licensed wildlife rehabilitator was involved in moving the ducks. Not once did I get that impression. Did you? I know I didn't. But guys, it gets a little, well, I say a little, it gets worse, even more. Because ducks actually have a legal status in America. So here they're saying, quote, mallards are protected, otherwise known as ducks, under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act of 1918. It is illegal for any person to take, possess, transport, sell, or purchase them or their parts, such as feathers, nests, or eggs, without a permit. Active nests with eggs or chicks may not be touched or destroyed without a permit from the US Fish and Wildlife Service. Inactive or empty nests do not require a permit to destroy. The US Fish and Wildlife Service does not issue permits to remove mallards, eggs, nor nests that are occupying a pool or an enclosed yard. Yeah. And again, when I read this story where Oprah is retelling what happened when it comes to Megzy and these ducks, I don't get the impression that they got a permit to be able to transport those ducks from Montecito Royale to Oprah's house. Yeah. So the question here, after going through all of that, is, did Meghan Markle and Hazza break the law with Oprah and those ducks? Again, special thanks goes to Nancy Sidley from the Sidley Twins and Megan Spare at VI Queenie on X. For as far as I can tell, they're the ones that initially highlighted this. Special thanks goes to them on that. What do you guys think? Did they break the law with Oprah and those ducks? So for those watching, if you want more misadventures of the gruesome twosome, whether on YouTube or on X, firstly on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe, like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Do you think Megzy and Hazza broke the law with Oprah and those ducks? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're watching on X, again, if you want more misadventures of the gruesome twosome live, then make sure you're following me on there at Stef The Alter Nerd. For those watching live, stay exactly where you are because, yes, we've been able to unlock the bonus Hazza and Megzy story for today's live stream. And, yeah, why has Megzy all of a sudden pissed off Candace Owens in such a big, major way? Oh, my goodness. I have a clip to show you. This is going to be a little bit of a fun segment. So for those watching live, whether you're on YouTube or X, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so, so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, and that was your third Hazard and Megzy story for today's live stream. Let's go through a couple of your comments before we get into the bonus one. Boots, I saw this. I'm screeching. I got a call out. LOL. Wish I could afford to help. Well, for those that don't know, I've done this really since the beginning of time. Yes, of course, you know, I'll shout out those that are only able to, of course. No pressure. Able to send, you know, super chat stickers, member only chats, you know, all that here. But I also do like to pick and choose, you know, other comments that stand out from the live chat, because you guys are helping as well. You know, just by being here, interacting, commenting in the live chat, hitting that like button, subscribing, that's helping as well, this community. And I appreciate you guys just as much. So, Boots, thank you so much for helping, for being here. You know, for those that can't afford super chats and all that lot, absolutely fine. Just do what you're doing right now. Watch, interact, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, watch me videos. That is help enough. So thank you so much to everyone that takes time out of their day to tune into this channel. I do really appreciate every single one of your faces. So thank you so much. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Boots. Oh, hang on. You're not getting notified. I'm signed up everywhere I can be. Okay. So if you're signed up everywhere you can be, but you're still not getting notified, that sounds like a YouTube issue. So if you do contact YouTube and let them know, they should be able to fix it for you. Tammy Joe, thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership for the last 13 months. Saying 13 months here, and every moment, those two Mormons and their sugars haven't changed their plots and plots. I hope FWP nail them to the wall. Bye. Yeah. Yep. CC Shell Bagabell. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that very, very kind $1 sugar bucks. Really appreciate your face. Thank you so much for that. Also as well, Chris Mills, thank you so much for the very generous £5 sugar bucks. Hope you are fully recovered, Steph. I have. From time to time, for those that don't know, I suffer from a rare form of pancreatitis. And yeah, my machine, I've got a spinal cord stimulator installed. 9 times out of 10, when I've got an attack, my machine can pretty much deal with it. And that's absolutely fine. But for the instances where it can't, I have to take Oromorph. And then at that point, I am useless. Oromorph is morphine. It's just administered orally rather than by injection. So yeah, I'm literally like drinking morphine to dull the pain when my pancreas essentially wants to try and kill me. So yeah, I had fun earlier on this week. But thank you so much for your good wishes and your kind words when I explained that unfortunately there wasn't going to be any content that day because of that attack. Thank you so much for your kindness and compassion there. Appreciate it. Thank you again. Let's see. Flapper27 says, yes, they committed a felony. Okay, that's what Flapper27 thinks. TX KitKat says they definitely disturbed the ducks. Leave them alone and let nature do its thing. I would say so. MLS, hey up, mate. Oh my goodness, guys, make sure you subscribe to MLS. Again, my kind of people, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this has been going on now for a while. We will get it done. It just, life is getting in the way. Yeah, the rematch between myself and Nick Starro. Who can build the Lego set first and fastest whilst being interviewed at the same time? Yes, that is still going to go ahead. It was supposed to happen this month. Life unfortunately got in the way, but we are actively trying to reschedule it. But my heart goes out right now to Nick. Nick, you're probably not watching this, but Appreciate you, buddy. He knows where I am if he needs me. And oh, MLS, dude, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much for the highly generous $19.99 sugar bucks. My goodness, definitely pissing off a few sugars days by sending a lot of sugar bucks my ways. My goodness, saying I can afford them, but I give them out very sparingly. You are one of my favourites. Oh, well, you're one of my favourites too. The only channel that literally, as far as I'm concerned, will interview you whilst playing Lego. I love playing with Lego. It's amazing. I have a few Lego sets downstairs. I may actually show you them one day, actually. I might. I'm pretty proud of my Lego collection. That is for certain. But yeah, with that being said, let's jump into the bonus Hazza and Megzy story for today's live stream. And yeah, this, guys, is a fun one. Why, oh why, has Megzy pissed off Candice Owens this time? What the deuce is going on? Well, let's jump into it right now. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because Megzy has pissed off Candice Owens. Why though? Because Candice Owens has teared her a new one in this brutal rant that we're going to play in a minute right here. But yeah, this is being reported first and foremost by The Express. This is where I heard it initially. And then I went onto YouTube to then find the clip so I could actually play it for you. So yeah, I'm going to play this clip. I'm going to provide my commentary for fair use purposes. So yeah, let's go.
Okay, now I got to get something off my chest, you know? I really do. I have to get something off my chest. And I need feedback. I need guidance, because we're all in need of feedback and guidance sometime. You know, none of us are perfect. I'm trying to be a better person every day. And
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
just was on Instagram. This is not a new Meghan Markle clip. It isn't at all. It's presumably an old one. I think it is from her sit down with Drew Barrymore, which might have been a couple of months ago, but I just saw it for the first time. And I was instantly enraged. From...
Yeah, that's a natural reaction. Or one of the natural reactions you get when you watch Megzy do her thing.
This like 10-second clip, it just annoyed me. And so I want you to listen to this 10-second clip, however long it is. And she's just talking about her life at home while she's on this press tour for her brand as ever. Take a listen.
Okay, I'm just going to fast forward through that, okay? Because even though I'm playing this clip for fair use purposes, she's going to play a clip from the Drew Barrymore show. And we all know that when it comes to the mainstream media, they love to try and copyright claim us, even though we can argue we're using the clip for fair use purposes. I just can't be bothered with trying to argue with those idiots. So let's just fast forward there. And here we go. Candice Owens. Let's have more of a listen.
How are you guys feeling right now? What is it about her and that just infuriates me? And so I sent it to my former executive producer and my current executive producer in a chat. And I was like, what is this? Why do I feel angry when I listen to that? What, like, is it me? Am I tired? You know? And she said back, there is something incredibly condescending about the way that she speaks to us. Like, this is supposed to be relatable. This isn't relatable at all. First off, it sounds fake. That is not, it sounds self-indulgent. I'm away for one night, so I record myself and I take a book and I read the book and I sit and I hold the book and I'm like, I do not want green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam, I am. Would you like them in the dark? Would you like them in the park? I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam, I am. Would you like them on a train? Would you like them in the rain? And then I finish reading this book to myself, a thin book, and then I send it to my husband who's doing bedtime because that's normal. Papa's in bed with the kids. That's normal. and I say, show them the video of me reading the book as opposed to you just being a dad and reading the book, that annoys me. Stop condescending us. That doesn't.
Yep. And this is the thing, Candace Owens is pretty much hitting the nail on the head when it comes to the problem with Megzy. What have I always said, guys? Megzy has a likability and trustability issue. If people don't like and trust Megzy, then people are not going to like and trust Megzy in terms of what she's saying and what she's trying to sell us. And we don't trust Megzy. Why? Because as Candace Owens is saying here, she's coming off as extremely fake and very condescending. It's as if Megzy is just reading from a script. And what she's saying, essentially, then, isn't authentic. See where I'm coming from there? Let's carry on.
It make you sound like a better mom. It makes you sound like really kind of into yourself in a way. Like,
And that's the thing. When Megzy talks about Archie and Lily, right? She don't really talk about Archie and Lily. She talks about herself. When she talks about Azza, she's not really talking about Azza. She's talking about herself. She's talking about what she does for Hazza. She's talking about what she does for the kids. But she ain't talking about really the kids or Hazza. She's making it all about her. The alleged narcissistic freaking nutbag.
that's just not necessary. That's annoying for your kids who are 3 and 5 and therefore don't have an attention span to watch mom read a book while all of it just really, really sent me. Okay. It just really sent me. And then as we were trying to land upon that, I was like, yes, it is condescending. There's something condescending and unbelievable about it and annoying for her children. So, Skylar pointed out to me that Tim Dillon did this clip, and just so your ears, he's going to say the B word twice. I do try to spare you guys any swearing, but he describes her very well. And he does this by taking a look at Meghan, who, there's always a conversation she's having, but there's an undertone to everything she says. And I feel like he explains it perfectly when he looks at this clip of her speaking to Mindy Kaling and getting triggered by the fact that Mindy Kaling calls her Meghan Markle, but then she tries to calm down her rage about being called Meghan Markle. Take a listen.
And this is the thing, right? Meghan Markle trying to turn around and say, no, I'm not Meghan Markle anymore, I'm Meghan Sussex. Bitch, please, what's your name on your passport? It ain't Meghan Sussex. It's Rachel Meghan Markle. Come on. Who's she trying to fool, right, guys?
All right, let's watch a little bit of this.
Including her pal.
You can take me.
Right. I'm just going to fast forward through that bit a little bit. All right, here we go.
Yeah. And what she's saying to Mindy Kaling is, listen to me, you fat bitch. See, this is what she's saying to Mindy Kaling. She goes, listen to me, you fat bitch.
Firstly, for me, respectfully, maybe Tim Dillon is just saying this for shock value or for comedy reasons or something like that. Fair play. But personally, I object to him calling Mindy Kaling a quote-unquote fat bitch. I just don't think there's any need for that. Now, I know he's mimicking Megzy and saying, look, this is what Megzy's really saying. Listen, fat bitch. I know that's what he's trying to do, but I just think, personally, it's just unnecessary. He could just turn around and say, and Megzy was like, oi, listen, it's not Markle anymore. It's Sussex. That kind of thing. Do you see where I'm coming from? I hope you do.
She is such a monarch, Meghan Markle. And in the history of the world, the Meghan Markles of the world would be, oppressing the Mindy Kalings. Because Meghan Markle's like, listen, you bitch, my empire ran your for years. Don't call me my dead name. Don't call me my dead name. That's not my name in these streets. My name is Sussex. You bitch. Is there any other interaction we can see?
Okay, we're just going to fast forward through that little bit as well. Again, whenever we show anything that's from mainstream media, again, even if we provide commentary for fair use purposes, they'll still try and claim us. So, okay, here we go.
Do you see her eyes? Do you see her eyes? She's doing an impression of a human being.
Bingo.
But the
She's doing an impression of a human being. Yes, that is a astute and very accurate description of Megzy. She's trying to do her best impression of a human being. I love that. I love that. Yes.
most interesting thing about Meghan Markle is that she's not a human being. Never become a human, honey bunny bear. Don't ever become a human being. You will. She'll be so unhappy as a person. The best version of Meghan Markle is exactly the one you are seeing right now. She is completely, her lust for power, for status, for fame is so naked and so transparent. The demon inside of her is coming out of her eyes, and she's trying to be a human being, only enough, just be enough of a human being for the show.
I am sorry, but, and genuinely, I don't even mean to attack her. there was something frustrating about her, and I think he hits the nail on the head. It's like she's playing a human being. It's a performance. It's season 3 of some show that we're watching where she is required to pretend that she's a human being. And
this is the thing, right? That makes sense. That tracks. Now, for those that haven't already, please subscribe to my good friend HG Tudor on YouTube. As far as I'm concerned, he is an expert when it comes to narcissist and narcissistic behavior. And behind the scenes, HG Tudor has kindly given up some of his time to talk to me and educate me a little bit more about narcissists. And I'm paraphrasing here, and he'll explain it in his own words much more astutely and succinctly than myself, right? But let me try and do it in my own floral way. Here we go. When it comes to narcissists, they essentially don't know how to naturally act. And so what they do is they take their cues from other people as to how they're going to act, how they're going to react in certain situations, how they're going to act in certain situations, and all that malarkey, all towards the end goal of making sure that whatever they're doing is serving themselves first and foremost, hence them being narcissists, right? They're only looking out for themselves and no one else. And so when Tim Dillon and Candace Owens here are turning around, right, and they're saying, Megzy is pretending to be a human being, this is why innately we've got a problem with her. And then Candace Owens expanding on that, saying, yeah, it looks like she's reading from a script. Well, for me, that tracks with my understanding of narcissists and narcissistic behavior, thanks to HG Tudor, but also as well Revealing the Narc. Make sure you subscribe to my good friend Revealing the Narc here on YouTube as well. But yeah, let's continue with the last little bits that Candace is saying about this.
And there's an element of it that drives me insane, that she just cannot communicate in a way that is relatable at all. It's like, why would you record yourself reading a book? That's really frustrating for you to say. Why would you do that? That's not necessary. Just let dad read his book. And especially to do it in the sentence that you're saying it's because you need to present your, as ever brand. You're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, let's put it this way, right? Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Megzy is recording herself reading the book for her kids to watch because she doesn't want Hazza to do it. Why doesn't she want Hazza to do it? Because she wants to be in her children's life as much as possible in a more positive way, more than Hazza. Now, this is all my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, but it gives Megzy the excuse then, in let's say a custody court, turn around and say, Hazza did nothing for kids. He didn't even read him a bedside story. I had to film myself reading a bedtime story for the kids to watch because Hazza didn't do it. As I could if he was there, but he wasn't. So it fell to me. The only way I could do it was to record myself reading a story and playing it to the kids. Because I was working and I couldn't be with them at the time, and it was the only way to do it. Think about it. Again, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever.
And that's what I want to communicate, and as ever. That's what you want to communicate, and as ever. That we should be recording ourselves reading Green Eggs and Ham if we have to spend one night away from our children. Like, I don't want to do that. So I'm out. I guess I'm out on the brand. I'm going to show you one more funny clip of him. And by the way, I see you guys in the chat earlier who had mentioned Diddy. I do have just one thing to say about Diddy, and I will say it. But first, one more clip of Tim Dillon because he nails it again about Meghan Markle. Take a listen.
She'll get the things she wants. Yes, we all hate her, but it doesn't matter. She doesn't care that we hate her. You know why? She hates us. That's why she wins. She hates us. She hates us. She thinks we're pigs. We're disgusting. We don't know how to use silverware. She thinks we're all Sieg Heiling in our backyard. We're just a bunch of fat Nazis who don't know how to make a proper cupcake. She hates us. She thinks we're pigs.
I'd rather be a piggy than be a Megzy. I just thought of that right now. I'd rather be a piggy than be a Megzy. There you go. That might actually be a good t-shirt slogan, in all honesty. But yeah, I'd rather be a piggy than be a freaking Megzy. That is for damn certain. But yeah, guys, that is the bonus Hazard and Megzy story. Why Megzy pissed off Candace Owens? Well, now we know. For those watching live, stay exactly where you guys are. I'm not done with you all yet. But if you haven't done so already, do make sure for more misadventures of the gruesome twosome that you either subscribe to me here on YouTube or follow me on X at Stef The Alter Nerd. Like, share. Comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Do you agree with Candace Owens and Tim Dillon where they're turning around and saying, reason why we innately dislike and do not trust Megzy is because she's essentially pretending to be a human being, pretending to try and act like a human being. Do you agree with that assessment? Not? What do you guys think? Well, let me know in the comments down below. Again, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. Hey up, and that was the bonus Hazard and Megzy story for today's live stream. Big, massive thank you to everyone that was able to contribute towards today's super chat goal. I really appreciate your faces. Thank you so much for that. Please, though, stay tuned, stay exactly where you are, especially if you're watching on YouTube, because yes, in about 8 minutes, we're going to have the after party over on my second channel, Political Nerds. And yeah, I'm sick of this shit. Are you guys? I know I am. It's just headline after headline after headline. And we're seeing similar stories happen day after day after day. I am sick of this shit. I know a lot of us in the UK are definitely sick of this shit. They're saying that the Syrian asylum seeker is 18 years old. Let's put it this way. When I show you the picture of the Syrian asylum seeker, tell me with a freaking straight face that he's 18 years old. He don't look like it. Let's put it that way. Taking the absolute mick. Thing is, though, just to give you a little bit of background to this, why do, I have to say allegedly here, allegedly, some asylum seekers lie and try and pretend that they're underage, that they're 18 or under. It's because they're then in the UK treated as kids. And so they have essentially an easier time to get asylum seeker status and being able to stay in the UK. That's what they're doing. And so, yeah, I go into massive rants on this premiere video. So in about 6 minutes, the after party will be starting over on my second channel, Political Nerds. For those that are watching on YouTube, you guys will be automatically redirected to this particular premiere. For those watching on X, it will be released on my Stef The Alter Nerd X page, so you guys can watch the full video there. But let's have a gander and see what you guys are saying. Before we go, let's have a look here. Sean Roche says, I've seen an insane and completely useless Lego build of a Lego build making a machine that convert revs input into a Google of the output revs. You say it's useless. I don't even understand it. I don't even understand that. Oh my goodness. MLS says, even if what she says is true, it sparks or stinks, I would say, of narcissism. Well, yeah. Because either way, however Megzy says her story or her anecdote or whatever, she always has a knack of still making it about her. It's all about me, and yeah, me. Do you know what I mean? Let's see. Tracy Floyd says, Sussex is a title, not a name. Okay. In Megzy's defense, right, she's kind of right, but she ain't. Yeah, she could be known as Meghan Sussex. The only thing is, it's not officially on any of the legal documents, this, that, and the other. And so she is actually known as Rachel Meghan Markle, and that's it. I look to the example of Princess Catherine and Prince William. Before they ascended to the Prince and Princess of Wales title, right, they were the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. And they were known, right, as William Cambridge and like Catherine Cambridge, right? And the Cambridge children. Now they're known as William Wales and Catherine Wales. So it is a title, not a name. But they do kind of use it as a name of sorts. It's a little bit like that. Does that make sense? But Megzy turning around outright and saying, no, I'm not Meghan Markle anymore, I'm Meghan Sussex, and saying that outright is wrong. Because, again, bitch, what's on your passport? It ain't Meghan Sussex. It just ain't. It just ain't. So, there we go. Tammy Jo says, like I told you, a new shirt saying it's the Me Meghan show. Okay, let me put that down. It's the Me Meghan show. Okay, that's fine. Beer, Piggy, Megzy. Yeah, I've put 2 ideas down so far. Tammy Jo's and my own. I'd prefer to be a Piggy rather than a Megzy. I kind of like that. Oh, MLS, I'm stealing that phrase now. Go nuts, mate. Go nuts. With my blessing. With my blessing. Guys, you'll be redirected to the after party over on my second channel, Political Nerds, in a moment. The premiere is going to be starting in a couple of minutes. Let's just go through a couple of more of your comments before we head on over. Grits Gal raised in the South says, Tim Dillon is terrific. I think he is. I think he's fun. I do think he's fun. Anytime Candace is in trouble, she brings up Megzy. Automatic numbers boost. Can't hate the grift. Fair play. Fair play. It is what it is. Angela Jacoby. Did anyone hear his voicemail where Megzy cusses him out? She's a full-blown psychopath. I've not heard this voicemail. What? What voicemail? I legitimately have not heard about this voicemail. What the deuce is going on there? Oh my goodness. Sean Roche, I saw your reaction to Mindy Kaling being instructed on Megzy on a bean should be addressed as Sussex. I know. I literally did a live stream where I watched every single episode, brand new. I hadn't watched it before, from start to finish of With Love Meghan. And when it got to that point where Megzy was like, I'm not Meghan Markle, I'm Meghan Sussex, I'm like, excuse you? I don't freaking think so. Not a chance. Let's see. Butterbug's baked goods. Wow, Megzy is a lizard person. Okay, let me be very clear on this. I do not believe in lizard people. I just really do not. Have a look. Apparently all you guys are talking about being left-handed right now. I'm not too sure why, but all right, that'll do for me. On that bombshell, guys, I want to thank absolutely everyone that's tuned in live, whether here on YouTube or over on X. I really, really appreciate your faces. Please make sure on YouTube you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe, like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatevers. If you're on X, make sure you're following me at Stef The Alter Nerd for more misadventures of the gruesome twosome. Thank you so much to everyone that's subscribed today, that's liked this stream, that's kept me company right to the end, that's commented in the live chat. Thank you as well to everyone that's been able to send super chat stickers, member only chats, joined as a member, or jumped into today's gifting wars. I appreciate all your faces. Have a wonderful weekend wherever you are in the world. I'll see you this Sunday, 10 o'clock UK time, 5 o'clock Eastern, for the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition. Those watching on YouTube, stay exactly where you are. We're going to be redirected to my second channel for the after party. For those watching on X, you can watch this video on X, on my profile at Stef The Alter Nerd. Thank you so, so much for tuning in. Appreciate all your faces. And I'll see you over on Political Nerds. Laters, guys.